The meaning of the movie. Author Orpheus for Reading for Minutes, published on 15.12. 2019, updated on 15.12. 2019. What does a loving mother experience when her only child accidentally goes missing? What does a loving mother experience when her child is returned? What does she experience when she clearly realizes that the returned foundling is not her child? Who and why makes her pretend to be the son of the main character, where the real relative has disappeared, and what terrible secret hides this mysterious story? The desire to get answers to these questions prompted many viewers of the American thriller, filmed in 2008 by director Clint Eastwood, to dive headfirst into the dark story of the boy and not losing hope for the return of the son of a woman. The movie is based on real events, which makes it more creepy and interesting. The main plot of the movie, Substitution. The events of the movie unfold in the late 20s of 20th century in Los Angeles. The measured and happy life of an American family consisting of a mother and her 9-year-old son is suddenly destroyed by a misfortune. The boy, left home alone to wait for his mother, disappears. The woman throws all her energies into the search for the kid, in which she is helped by a local priest, but the police are in no hurry to investigate. A few months later, the woman is informed that the child has been found and is persuaded to allow a public, family reunion to raise the level of confidence in law enforcement. However, upon arriving at the site of the long-awaited reunion, the woman discovers, under camera flashes and speeches from the police, that the boy whom the police have mistaken for her son, and who himself willingly confirms this information, is a completely different child. She is seeing him for the first time in her life. The heroine denies that the boy is her son, but under pressure, in a state of shock, agrees to bring the child to her home to remember and make sure that this is her missing son. The experiment fails miserably when the woman finds undeniable evidence that the child has been switched. The boy, under pressure, confesses everything to the desperate heroine who has taken him in. The woman publicly accuses the police of deception, for which she pays for it cruelly, through the labors of the person by whom the boy was found and returned. The heroine is placed in a psychiatric hospital for compulsory treatment. There the woman meets another unfortunate woman who has become undesirable to the police due to circumstances. The attending physician, acting at the behest of the police, tortures the woman to obtain a confession that the boy given to her by the police is her real son, but she stubbornly refuses to accept the lie as true. A young detective arrives at a ranch in Southern California to pick up a teenager who has crossed the border illegally. However, the boy tells the detective a horrifying story of his captivity at the ranch and a series of murders committed either by his captor or by himself under the pressure of a man. The sexual and physical abuse and the psychological shock experienced by the boy are at first mistaken by the detective as skillful lies to avoid deportation. However, when the teenager points to the place where the bodies are buried, the detective is horrified to discover the truth of the child's words. The case takes on high-profile fame. The mother of a missing boy is released from an institution for the mentally ill after the publication of a survivor's testimony that, judging from a photograph, the 9-year-old Los Angeles boy was also the victim of the killer. However, when questioned, the captured perpetrator refuses to admit that he killed the boy. It is confirmed information that several kids managed to escape from the terrible place. The mother of the missing boy tries to get a meeting with the killer to personally ask questions about the fate that befell her son. But the maniac refuses to talk to her at the last moment, thereby doing the woman a huge favor, leaving room to believe in the best and waiting for a meeting with her surviving son. Encouraged by the hope of a possible meeting with the boy, the heroine continues her search for him. The movie raises many issues: the power and impunity of the police, the vulnerability of women at the beginning of the last century, sexual, physical and moral abuse of children and adults, the topic of cartel psychiatry and the role of public opinion in a conservative society. However, despite the abundance of violent and morally difficult scenes, the movie is still hugely popular with audiences. The meaning of the movie's finale, the truth, no matter how terrible it may be, is always better and more desirable than the unknown. The only force that wins the battle with the desire to know the truth is hope, strengthened by the feeling of a mother's love. In the end credits it is told that the woman devoted the rest of her life to the search for her son, which means that she spent it not in vain.